streets to the gumbo pot. He's the pulse of the city, giving all he's got. Together we rise, united we stand, with Gerod on. Yeah, tuning out, let the truth resonate. With Gerod on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. We're reclaiming our soul. Yeah, let's resonate with Gerod on the mic. We're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Yeah, yeah.
People, y'all.
See, that's why I want you to talk.
I already know what I'm doing. You learned. You learned it today.
Oh, narcissistic clown.
That's all that is. That's all you're doing. You learn it. Say it.
Learn these.
Learn it.
Learn these.
Learn it. Ooh, what's happening, people? Hoping everybody's doing all right. Welcome to Tuesday. And baby, it's cold outside. It was cold this morning, though. I know that. Good Lord, it was cold this morning.
It was nipply.
It was what?
It was nipply.
Nipply?
Yeah.
I had one for you, but I'm like, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone. Yeah, we can tell that cold air is coming down from the Arctic. And I think they said in Chicago and a couple of other places, it was like 20 below.
But how is it going to be in the 70s this weekend? I'm like, man, come on.
Welcome to New Orleans.
That's why everybody around here are coughing and hocking and stuff.
Well, just to give everybody some news, Louisiana is #1 this year, and again, right now, for the flu virus.
When aren't we never #1?
We are #1 for the flu.
We're always #1 for the flu. Always.
We ain't never #1 for the flu.
We were #1 last year.
We get a lot of people to get the flu, but we #1 from every state. Every state. So, guess what?
We nasty.
I have that too, but I have seen, and I think I'm more conscious of it now. That when you go into a restaurant and stuff, people coughing and hacking and and then I'm looking up like, cover your mouth.
Yeah, because what store was I in the other day? I forgot what store I was in. They had this little young girl, and she just sneezed out into the air, and everybody turned and looked at her.
Yeah.
And the next time she sneezed,
cover the mouth.
She put that arm in her,
right.
Her head into her arm.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm thinking. That some of these restaurants need to at least put up a sign or something that says, because we're, there's a flu epidemic that is very high here, please be conscious of others and cover your mouth.
Man, people don't think like that, bro.
Cover your mouth.
People
not
do
your
not care.
But your mouth.
Mouth?
Mm-hmm.
MOWF?
Yeah, that too. That too. So
It's a
yeah,
shame that people don't care about their fellow human beings. You know?
I just think that
It's sad.
folks just don't pay attention to what's going on, not realizing that others. Because I mean, folks sensitive. They sense. Hey, after COVID, you sensitive.
Oh, dang right I am.
Yeah, you. I mean, but everybody needs to be a little bit more sensitive and saying who they are, what they got. You don't know. You don't know what you got. Sometimes you sitting up there talking about some. It's just my sinuses. No, fool. You got something.
Man, because that radio station I worked at before I came to this illustrious, beautiful station, boy, I had to spray the whole studio down up in there. Well, I still wipe it down
I
in
was
here.
trying
too, now.
not to say nothing. I really
still-
was. I
I'm
was
not
trying not to
ashamed.
say nothing.
I wipe it down up in here.
Dude, you just did it when I walked in the
Yeah,
door.
I was in the process of doing it. I keep me a bag of sanitary those wipes, not sanitary wipes, but you know what I mean. Lysol wipes, not sanitary wipes. 'Cause that would be nasty
All right, y'all, I'm going home now.
and colorful.
I'm going home now. I appreciate everybody.
I have to sanitize, not sanitary. Sanitize.
Ooh, you don't know.
Say
how
it
much,
with me. Sanitize.
you don't know how much it took me to hold that back.
Oh, I saw it.
That's twice.
That's why
And
I
it ain't
kept going
been
with
10
it.
minutes. I had to hold that back.
That's why I kept going with it.
Yes, indeed.
I'm
So,
gonna make you break.
well, got a lot to got to talk about today. I know everybody's probably tired of hearing all the conversation about what's going on with ICE and who's closing and folks doing all this other stuff to protect their folks. And I know you're tired of hearing some of that, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But I got a lot of other stuff that's happening in this here world of ours. And I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to move around. Street repairs.
What, have there been some?
Bruh,
Bruh.
you ain't heard the latest.
Wait, they fixed Franklin.
No. You really have not.
No, I haven't.
I'm going to send you the story. We $123 million gone. Not the budget. I'm talking about from FEMA. $123 million that's gone. That's supposed to be fixing the streets.
Uh-oh. Somebody in trouble.
And they just finding it.
Where was it?
No, they just finding that it's gone.
Oh, you're just finding that.
That we got to pay it back.
Who got a new house and a new car?
They got to pay it back by the end of this month. I'm about to send you the story. David Hammer from Channel 4 did a story on it.
I like David Hammer.
David just straight to the punch. You know, this is what it is. It's $123 million. And I was sitting there and saying to myself, wait a minute. So they took the FEMA money and put it in a general fund so that it would be spent without telling them what they're fixing and asking for. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm confused. But I said to myself, Self
said,
if this is any indicator on why we in such a cluster, you know what, right now, we could be up the creek for real, especially if they don't give us. So they're going to have to go and ask for an extension for the money. But they're also saying that we did $900 million in street repairs. Okay, that's fine. But somebody need to tell me about the 123 million. I'm like, who done, not who did, but who done messed this up? Did we not ask for an extension already? I thought we did. So let me go back and tell you why I think that we did, but maybe somebody forgot. Maybe they need to look into it a little bit further. So y'all remember, when was it? Was it last year? I think it was last year. And the reason why I'm trying to remember all of this is because y'all need to remember this too. We were trying to figure out why all the streets were getting busted up. Y'all remember? It looked like everybody was, the construction companies were going in and they were just breaking up the streets and then they just leave them alone. And we were all wondering, like, when are we going to be able to drive down our streets again? Y'all busting up the streets and just leaving them. Gilbert Montano came to this show. You remember that? Gilbert Montano came and sat in that chair and started talking about what was going on with the FEMA money and said we had to do more to utilize that money because he had to get those construction companies to bust up the streets and move on to another street because they had to say that they were using the money or they had to send it back. So that was the best way for them to utilize that money and try to fix the streets because they were running so far behind. And the cost of fixing streets went up, right? But is this the same pot of money that they were using? Oh, man, I had to stop and go get me some Tylenol. I did. I had to go get me some Tylenol because my head was hurting so bad. I was like, I'm confused. Now, how much did I put into this Gilbert Montano interview that I did? I conducted the interview. He came in and sat down and started talking about it. But what I'm trying to remember is that he said, yes, we have to use this money because if we didn't use it for a certain time, we had to send it back. So that's when the construction companies were coming in, and instead of working on one street at a time, they would bust up the streets, get all the stuff out of the street. I mean, you'd be sitting there wondering when you could be able to drive down your street again because they weren't fixing them in a timely fashion. Completely, though. They weren't fixing them completely. You got it? You got it?
I get to open.
So I just gotten to the point now where I gotta tell you, I'm like, give me some Tylenol here because my head's hurting. On who was doing what? Who was overlooking the money? Who was making sure we were spending it correctly? And did anybody else know? Here we go. This is the story, y'all. Pay attention.
We wanted to figure out exactly what was happening.
Count Mayor-elect Helena Moreno among the New Orleans leaders shocked by our exclusive investigation last month that unearthed a gaping $123 million hole in the city's Katrina road repair program known as JIRR.
Ever since we saw your story on JIRR, obviously myself and other members of the council became very concerned.
Especially concerned when we discovered Mayor LaToya Cantrell's administration had been using the city's general fund to pay for the FEMA-funded road work without asking for reimbursements.
I don't know why they ever utilized the general fund to front those dollars. That's the city's operating dollars.
And my investigation found the city spent those operating dollars even after telling the city council in February they were on a fiscal cliff.
That was a mistake, I believe, and it doesn't appear that that's continuing to happen, which is good.
The city made the general fund whole in June with $43 million from a capital bond fund. But Louisiana Legislative Auditor Mike Wagasback says there's a bigger problem on the horizon. FEMA's deadline to finish all the street work is December 31st.
So roughly in about 3 weeks, if that extension is not granted, there's going to be stop work orders across this city for any project because they can't spend $1 or they can't get a dollar reimbursed past 12/31 if that deadline has not been extended.
In August, the state told FEMA it backed giving the city an extension to December 1st, 2028. Wagasback says the request is still sitting on a desk at FEMA headquarters.
And these are projects where it's like the roads are opened up, you've got, the pilings in, and if we don't get this extension, well, now it's up to the city to cancel those projects or try to figure out a way to finish those projects. But I could be left with a real mess that's costly to the point of tens of millions of dollars.
Residents like Leah Namer know that mess all too well. She lives in Gentilly on a street that's barely passable, sandwiched between two other streets completely torn up for repairs.
If you can't park in your neighborhood and you have groceries to unload and you live in the middle of the neighborhood, it just becomes a problem, very inconvenient.
She expects better financial management from city leaders.
There's no excuse for the money that is there and then it all of a sudden is not there for whatever reason. It's unacceptable.
I discovered the problem by reviewing hundreds of pages of financial ledgers. They showed the city managed the JIRR cash flow well during Cantrell's first term, with 1,500 reimbursements and 7 large advances from FEMA. But in late 2022, the city stopped getting those reimbursements, relying only on occasional advances. If the extension is granted, wouldn't it be smart to continue to do the mix of advances and reimbursements that they were doing until 2022?
Yeah, between advances especially, when you kind of exceed your 120 million or whatever the advance is, okay, let's do a express pay, provide the invoice, look at the documentation, and then approve it and reimburse the city within 30 days.
Wagasback says it looks like communication between the city's project delivery and financial offices broke down.
They're working in different areas of the office, and they're not always communicating together. So when we ask a question of one department, sometimes you get a different answer from the other departments.
To address that, Moreno has tapped City Council Budget Chair Joe Giarrusso as her Chief Administrative Officer.
One of the things that I've instructed CAO Giarrusso to move forward with is really ensuring that we have this increased level of coordination and collaboration.
Well, but why didn't the City Council have eyes on that and understand what was going on with JIRR when the project delivery person sent the letter saying it's putting a strain on city finances and we're 96 million in the hole?
Well, as you've been able to see, the City Council was kept in the dark for a lot of different things happening with the finances of the city. And even when we asked questions, we weren't getting truthful answers in return.
Moreno says she and Giarrusso pushed for years to get the Cantrell administration to hire an outside project manager to coordinate street repairs, to no avail.
And as you know, there were a level of change orders and mistakes made and all these different things where we wasted money on fixing projects. And that money could have gone to repairing even more streets.
But in fairness to Cantrell, former mayors Ray Nagin and Mitch Landrieu spent millions on project managers for over a decade and didn't manage to get any of the post-Katrina street repairs done. It was only when Cantrell became mayor that almost $900 million in work was completed, all without paying a project management firm. David Hammer, WWL, Louisiana.
And David interviewed the city's project delivery team for his first report on JIRR, but when he followed up about Moreno's comments, the city declined to answer more questions. You can watch those stories on our website, WWLTV.com, and streaming on our app, WWL+.
All right, there you go. That comes from Channel 4. We appreciate them for letting us use their story, their audio. What y'all think? 504-582-9422 is the number. Boy, that's going to be interesting, too. See what happens. They were using the money out of the general fund. All right, y'all. Get them in. Get the calls in now. We'll take a break here and we'll come back. More coming up next.
grow your business or increase traffic to your location? We can help. WBOK 1230 AM has a number of solutions that will meet your individual needs. Give one of our consultants a call today at 504-582-9420 or email us at info@wbok1230.com. And remember, an investment with WBOK is an investment in our community. Call today.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com.
Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called, and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing, and now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-311-5977. That's 800-311-5977. 800-311-5977.
Hi, I'm Monica Pierre.
And I'm Sally Ann Roberts, and we are the host of your Power is On gospel music show on WBOK Sunday mornings.
Best wishes this time of year. Remember, it's all about faith, family, and food.
Happy holidays, everyone. Enjoy. And remember, your power is on.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back to the program here. Gerard Stevens with you. Tuesday afternoon, our number, 504-582-9422. Don, what you say there, boss man?
Hey, man, how you doing this afternoon?
I don't know. I just took some Tylenol, so I'm like, my head be hurting listening to all of this stuff.
Yeah, I think we all need to get some of that Tylenol. Man, you know, when I listened to that excerpt that you had from Channel 4, the first thing I question is, you know, we've been going through this street thing since Katrina. And, you know, when Mitchell Andrew took office in, I think it was 2010, and was in there those 8 years, man, what was the city council doing as far as finding out? Because everybody was complaining, you know, right after Katrina about how bad the streets were.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, with them, and then, you know, them spending millions and not getting somebody to take care of the problem, what was the city council doing at that time?
So I guess my issue with this whole story, that's why I'm like, something just ain't adding up with me, is what David Hammer said in his story. He said what they were doing was they were doing all of these street repairs. Over 900 million got done. But what they were doing was taking money from the general fund to pay for it. I'm like, what? So we were taking money out of the general fund when all you had to do was take the money or request the money from FEMA
From
for
FEMA, yeah.
the JIRR fund so that they could pay for it and reimburse you for it, and we didn't even ask for reimbursement. I'm like, that something wrong.
That sounds wild. Yeah, I mean,
because I'm trying to figure out, how did you have an operating budget, which is the general fund, and also taking $900 million or $100 million from that general fund to pay for streets? How did you operate?
well, I mean, from what he was saying, it looks as though 900 million got used, and people must have reimbursed for that. But in her second term, and the mayor's second term, which is still about to end, I guess. But this is when she hasn't been getting reimbursed. And I say, how do you operate a government and you don't know that you're not getting reimbursed by FEMA, and you have to go into the general fund to get the money?
So I'm with you on that part, and I'm gonna kind of break it down another way. What was the CAO during that time? Nobody was checking. Nobody was checking.
My pension still around? When all this was going on?
Nobody even decided to look into there was no gaps, nothing to make you go, something wrong here.
Right. And like you said, he should have been called to the carpet at that time when, they had to start taking money out of the general fund. Of course, when you listen to the, city council people, and mayor-elect, they make it seem as though they didn't know anything that was, all this stuff was going on.
Right.
That they were doing these things behind closed doors, and they're just not finding out about all of this.
It's apparent to me that they still don't know.
How do you hide this stuff?
The reason why I'm saying that is the person that does know is Wagispack, the legislative auditor that's in there. He's the one that, because he explained it better than anybody. So to me, if he's explaining it that way, that means he's looked into it and probably delivered the message to the mayor-elect, and she basically said, this is what's happening.
Yeah, well, wouldn't you think that would cause them to want to talk to the ex-CEO, Montaigne?
Exactly.
You would think that they would want to talk to this guy and see, bro,
what happened?
How did you end up doing this stuff?
If nothing else, you need to explain to me what we were doing. Do we
What
have some
happened? Right,
paperwork?
'cause he knew.
Is there something that we don't know that you know? Bruh, use your subpoena power to bring that dude to the table and ask him what the hell going on.
All of this stuff going on, Gerard, and how do you not feel that this man needs to come in and tell the council and the city exactly what was going on during his time that he was working, in the city?
The only person, Don, the only person that has asked him to come and explain was Oliver Thomas.
Oliver Thomas, yeah. I mean, and see, that's the thing that gets me, man. What are these council people doing, man, where their ears are closed, where they don't hear what's being said, that they feel that this isn't something that needs to be done, so everybody can be on the same page as far as finding out exactly what happened. That's the only way that you're going to find out is hear from the horse's mouth.
Yep.
And he's at Alderman, living the life of luxury now, and thinking that everything is okay with him.
A $400,000 a year job.
He's not worried. Yeah, he's not worried about anything. As long as they don't call him, he's okay. So I would put his foot to the fire and say, hey, you got to come in and talk to us.
So to me, what was not said in that story, which I think needs to be really utilized with someone asking the point, whether it be at the city council meeting, whether it be in an email or something of sorts to Mr. Wagispack and Ms. Moreno, is this setting us back even further?
Really, yeah, because they would have to, especially if they don't get the extension. They claim the thing has been, 6 months since
we got until December 31st.
Yeah, how do you wait till the last minute to find out if they approved the extension?
So you're trying to tell me that we spent over $100 million that's supposed to be reimbursable through FEMA,
Yeah.
And
you
if
ain't
we're
got it
not
yet.
finished by the 31st, which we know we're not going to be,
Right, you know that, and then the money get in.
you trying to tell
lose
me
the money.
we not going to get no money? And
Yeah,
and
we
the
gonna
money
lose
you
the
might
money.
have, you got to send it back
This should have been done months ago, man, to get
years
the okay
ago.
or get the extension. You know, I mean, how do you wait till the last minute now to find all this stuff out? And like you said, we're left holding the bag, the city, I mean, because here we go trying to figure out what in the world we're going to do if FEMA, reneges on giving us the extension. And then
And
don't
imagine who
reimburse
you're getting
us
ready to ask, can we get an extension from an administration that does not like FEMA in the first place?
in the first place. Right. Yeah.
And we're a democratic city that's now got these ICE agents running through here rampant.
Oh, man, we got a lot of problems, Gerard. A lot of problems that we have to deal with. And the new year doesn't look like it's going to be a good one yet. So, I'm just going to pray and ask God to take the lead and lead us through this tragic situation. So,
Yeah, well,
but I'll hang up and listen to what other people have to say. Thanks for your time, man.
I appreciate you, Don. Thank you, buddy.
All right, buddy. All right, man.
Now, that's why I got my pack of Tylenol, because I was sitting there going, I'm still dumbfounded. Or your mom.
I see it all in your face. You want to say
I just
something.
wanted to say your mom. Mm-hmm. But I am looking around at this issue right here and going like, you're telling me that we've already spent $128 million on street repair, and we didn't ask for reimbursement? What? That got to be an exaggeration. I'm gonna give somebody the benefit of the doubt. Should I give him the benefit of the doubt?
Oh, it's almost Christmas. Let them have it.
Y'all think I should? Wait a minute. 504-582-9422. Give them the benefit of the doubt. It can't be every penny. They had to ask for some of it back. Maybe that's an exaggeration.
You know what I would say? Hell no.
That got to be an exaggeration. Monique said, nope. Oh, boy. I am dumbfounded. I really am. I don't even know what to say about this. Who did y'all let control our finances? Did we not know? Who are we paying as a consultant? Who? I'm starting to sound like Hootie the Owl around here. Who was controlling what? This got to be an exaggeration. This probably didn't happen for all of it. Maybe they just put it in there just because. I can sit here clear as day and remember when I sat here and talked to Gilbert Montano about these streets. And he came in. He didn't want to do it on the phone. He came in here and sat in that chair and said, this is what we're doing. Had an old notebook, ledger, and everything. Here's what we're doing. We can't afford to lose. Because y'all remember, how much money was that? $2 billion? I think
a whole bunch.
It was $2 billion. That's what we were talking about at that time. And he said, guess what we got to do? I said, what? He said, we don't have all the manpower to fix all the streets. And if we don't show that we're getting ready to do the work, what we're going to have to do is send the money back. So their answer to that was to get the construction companies to do the work as far as busting those streets up, getting the trucks in and digging up all the asphalt, the concrete, and all of that. Your street took a long time to get done, but they had to show where they were doing some of the work. So that's what they started doing. But people didn't understand that because they didn't tell nobody. And they started complaining about why my street not getting fixed. It's been like this for months. I've been parking my car all the way down at the other end of the block because I can't drive close to my street. Da-da-da-da-da. Y'all remember all of that? So I asked Mr. Montano to come in and tell us, and he did. But I didn't ask him, hey, man, are y'all taking this money from the general fund? Why would I even ask him that? Now, here's the problem I got with that, too. Oh, let me open up the telephone lines. 504-582-9422. Anybody want to comment? Here's the problem that I got with this. The problem that I got with this is, how did we operate as a city when we know it's the city fund, the general fund, that finances city operations, right? So if I got money for city operations and it's all signed off, here's what we got. How could I get an extra $128 million out of that fund to fix streets if FEMA is not reimbursing me? Wait, go back to that story for a minute. Did they or did they not say that the money that we were using to fix the streets was coming from the general fund? I just don't see it. There ain't enough money in there to fix the streets and have an operating budget at the same time. Yeah, I'll tell you when to cut it off.
We wanted to figure out exactly what was happening.
Count Mayor-elect Helena Moreno among the New Orleans leaders shocked by our exclusive investigation last month that unearthed a gaping $123 million hole in the city's Katrina road repair program known as JIRR.
Ever since we saw your story on JIRR, obviously myself and other members of the council became very concerned.
Especially concerned when we discovered Mayor LaToya Cantrell's administration had been using the city's general fund to pay for the FEMA-funded road work.
Okay, that's it. And he said, using the general fund to pay for the road work. I don't see it. Unless they took a little bit there, and took a little bit there, and took a little bit here. But if you took that money to pay for the road work, we got to have some type of record that was sent to FEMA so they reimbursed it. How much does it cost to fix a street? $500,000 to $900,000 to fix some of these streets? That would have been a big chunk of change that came out of the general fund if it wasn't replaced. Well, you are in a deficit, Gerard. Duh. That's overtime. Something just don't sound right. It just don't sound right. What you say, Shed?
Hey, here I go again. I live alone. I take care of my own expenditures. Expenses.
Mm-hmm.
I know when stuff ain't gonna add up. So at what point, again, did someone in the current administration, as well as this current city council, at what point, evidently they're not looking at the finances. Evidently, they weren't doing their job.
All right, let me throw something else in here for you. I want you to comment on this. I want you to think back now. Put your thinking cap on, because this is an important piece too that just came to mind. So you remember when people started complaining about road repair, and then the city council stood up, introduced a bill where the city council was then in charge of the finances of DPW, Department of Public Works, which also included road repair. So if y'all are in charge of the people that's fixing the roads, you would think that they would speak up and say, oh yeah, we know about that. Or we signed off on it, instead of pointing the finger. Because at that point in time, wasn't it the city council that was in charge of the Department of Public Works? I'm just saying.
It seems like some on that city council are only good at passing the buck. They don't take responsibility. And we all know, once again, if you took basic civics, the check and balance of the mayor's office is the city council. Basic civics, along with stuff governing stuff from the city charter. So now, you know what, man? Hey, man, you have a good one. God help us all.
I don't know what this one is. I'm confused.
Got a promotion.
I'm confused. So, all right, Shed. Thank you, brother.
And they got a promotion. Think about that.
Yep, a big promotion. All right, more coming up, y'all. Everybody, hang on. We got folks on the line here. Y'all, hang on. We're coming right back. Let's take this break first.
Late nights are made for chillin', and you can do just that every Sunday night at 10 p.m. as DJ Wick brings you The Love Zone. It's the perfect way to top off your weekend with your favorite old and new school ballads. So sit back, relax, and let DJ Wick take you to the Love Zone on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
You've got responsibilities, but that doesn't mean your dreams are on hold. At Southern University at New Orleans, our evening and weekend college is designed with your life in mind. Finish your degree, start a new one, on your time, your degree, your schedule. No excuses, just opportunity. Visit suno.edu and make your next move today.
Get ready. The Black Film Festival of New Orleans is underway now through December 14th. Join us this Sunday for Black Movie Trivia and mark your calendar for the awards ceremony on December 14th, featuring a special performance from Grammy Award winner Terrion Bell of Tank and DeBangus. Doors open at 11 a.m. at Cafe Instable. Free films, live events, youth workshops, and conversations with filmmakers from across the diaspora. And the debut of BFFNO Jr. Our stories, our voices, our festival.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
This is The Law and Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
When it comes to family planning, should you go with a will or a trust?
A will is like leaving instructions to the court. It tells them who gets what, but your family still has to go through a succession, which can be costly and time-consuming.
A trust, on the other hand, avoids court altogether. So when the time comes, everything transfers smoothly to your loved ones.
It's a little more work up front, but way less hassle and expense later. Plan smart, save time, and take care of your family.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Hey, what's up, good people? This is Gerard Stevens wishing you and yours the best of the holiday season. Be safe and, of course, keep it locked
From the East Bank to the West Bank, WBOK is what New Orleans is talking about. WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Never mind.
You're funny. You are funny.
Hey.
Womp womp.
Hey, I'm just.
I know you're confused too. Welcome to the welcome to the confused.
Not confused. Confused.
Confused. You confused. All right. So I did look up something. I saw where Joe Ken wrote something on there asking about when DPW became anything else except under the mayor's leadership. DPW is under the mayor's administration, but I think it was either last year or year before last, DPW operates with the city council approving and also having control of its budget because they were saying there was a lot of stuff that wasn't getting done. So the city council has approving key appointments like the director, the process where Rick Hathaway was nominated in 2023, and it has long existed as a part of a department for the mayor, but they wrote up new legislation to make sure that the city council had some type of control as well. All right, Tony. Tony?
Hey, Gerard. Hey,
what's going on with you?
Let me say this. Let me echo what your last caller said. I was also listening to that meeting yesterday, the city hall meeting as well too. I follow that every day. Let me say this. Why is I got a question. Why is it that there's an investigative report that comes out with all this detailed information about city government, NOPD, that they don't know about? Then they say, well, based on their investigative report, we're going to launch our own investigation into overtime. All these officers and following officers, at least 2 officers, and then come up with all this listing of all the officers who was getting overtime. Now you get this investigative report that comes down about city funds. City funds was used to fund FEMA projects. Mm-hmm. You know, why is it that we have investigative reporters? Maybe we need to hire them on city council. On city government to investigate and find out why things are going on. So it's mind-boggling.
So one of the things that I would say, and I think that this is going to, I think probably cause them problems, is the fact that we've always said, I know we've said it here, and I'll say it again just for those people sitting in the back that didn't hear it the first time, is that I always think that this city needs an audit. It completely needs an audit. Not a legislative auditor like we got right now, because he has not done a complete audit. We need to make sure that every department, every ledger, everything that this city spends money on is audited, and they refuse to do it.
My thing is this: we hired this new Inspector General of New Orleans, this Ed Quatrevo, when he first got here. How come that office? He was Johnny on the spot. He was investigating everything. Now we don't hear anything from that office.
Well, number one, he's gone. So the new Inspector General is Ed Michelle, and we made it a point to say the same thing, that your job is to make sure that government waste is not happening. And when all of this stuff started happening with the budget, is quiet as a mouse, still quiet.
He quiet. He quiet. He in there begging for money like a little mouse, like every other department is, and stuff like that. But he's shown no evidence of no work that he has done in the office.
Nope.
The guy before him that they kicked out, you know, that they forced out of the job, saying he wasn't at work. You know, so it is beyond me of why this stuff is happening. Let me say something else too. You know, I live in Algiers, right? You know, another thing that was coming up was the Gall Manor, that big subdivision in Algiers that should have been torn down years ago. We're at a decade with that building still standing up. That was work we were promised residents in Algiers that building would be down this time.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not putting it on Freddie King because the Gall Manor preceded him as well. So we can blame the other three council people before him as well.
So
there was no,
one of
we
the things
found out this.
One of the things that's
There was
happening with the Gall Manor.
There was no line item to pay for it.
Yeah, so let me tell you what's going on with the Gall Manor. The Gall Manor, under Freddie King, with his leadership, has stated that they were going to tear it down. I don't know if you ever saw the bulldozers and a couple of those bobcats over there, and I think they had a press conference over there a couple of months ago.
Press conference? I'm involved in all that. I'm part of the neighborhood president's council.
So what's happening is, as they were going in to knock it down, they found out that building is full of asbestos.
Asbestos. Yeah, I'm fully aware.
So now you have to have a hazmat team to come in. I think they're doing the process right now of getting a hazmat team to come in to knock it down because they don't want all of that flying around in the neighborhood.
Right, exactly. You know, so again, the way it was explained yesterday that there is no money to do it. You know, there was never any money to do it. There was no that may have been an RFP that was developed, but there was no budget for the city to pay for it.
And you got to understand too that we don't just have we just don't have a general fund. We also have a capital improvements fund, infrastructure.
Right.
So
exactly.
Both of them are struggling right now. So I don't know when that's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. My thing is, I was floored when I was said that it was not a line item to be done, and then it was like, well, where is the money coming from? And then the question was being asked to finance. Freddie was asking finance, you know, well, how come we don't have it as a line item? What happened? You know, why is
I
it?
think it's
I'm like, we should have known that years ago.
I just think it's kind of crazy that you got an abandoned apartment complex over there, but yet they put down brand new cement for you to be able to drive through.
Exactly.
I was like, well, why y'all put down new cement for the people to drive through there?
They gotta be able to drop off their tires.
That's like a part of the part of the road work. I was like, hell,
you know who's been using it, Gerod?
You got to move the old abandoned sofas and stuff out of the road work to drive through there.
You know what's being used for now, Gerard?
What's that?
You know, and I'll end with this. They is right. You know, this ties into the homelessness and the homeless people showing back up all over the place and stuff too. Them people are being dropped here by Jefferson Parish folks. They dropping them here in Algiers. They're all at the corner begging and everything else. And also, they're bringing their tires. Tires are showing back up. Did you see the picture of the tires that's back up there in the Gall Manor? All that stuff was actually cleaned up.
Yep.
Now it's even more back there. These guys are coming from St. Charles, Jefferson Parish, Plaquemines Parish in their trucks in the dead of night or whatever they do, and they're illegally dumping not only, you know, tires and everything in Algiers, they also dropping off homeless people because they don't want them there. Go to New Orleans.
Yes,
this
indeed.
stuff is going on. That's why I'll end it with that.
All right, Tony. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
I'll talk
Bye-bye.
to you in a minute. Yes, indeed. So if it sounds like I'm stumped today, I really am. And I guess I'm more stumped because it's in Galloway. I'm going to wait till I do my news and I'm going to pick up, so don't hang up. I guess the reason why I'm so stumped is how many times have we heard that this city doesn't have money, but y'all find money to do what you want to do. Hello? This thing on? Can you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? I'm just saying, we always hear when we want to do something that's going to make a difference in the community, we keep hearing, we don't have the money for that. But we find money. All right, let me use an example. Now, I know my folks going to be mad at me, but that's okay. Let me give you an example. I think your timing with this new administration is terrible. How do you tell the people that work here that you're getting ready to get laid off? You're getting ready to get furloughed. You're going to have to take some hits and no hiring. But yet you give your administration all 200,000 plus jobs and you give your CAO $100,000 increase. Hello? That's the worst timing in the world, even if you did it later. Why would you even do that after you're giving bad news and dropping that bomb on everybody at Christmas? Maybe it's me. Let me take some more Tylenol here and get my news. News coming up next.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Minnesota Somali American Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is firing back at President Trump over his immigration remarks on CBS's Face the Nation. Omar called Trump's comments disgusting.
This level of dehumanizing can lead to dangerous actions by people who listen to the president.
The president claimed Somali immigrants have ruined Minnesota and said Omar should have never been in Congress. A grand jury has again declined to indict Black New York Attorney General Letitia James over mortgage fraud claims. Earlier charges of bank fraud and false statements were dismissed. James denies wrongdoing. And President Trump honored this year's Kennedy Center recipients at the White House Saturday, presenting medals to Sylvester Stallone, Gloria Gaynor, and rock band Kiss. Country star George Strait and actor Michael Crawford were also recognized. Trump later joined the honorees for a State Department dinner. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. 504-582-9422 is my number. As you get off work, please drive with care. Galloway!
Feliz Navidad. What's going on, my brother?
What's happening with you?
Man, come on, Gerard. There's three sides to every story.
Every time. There's their side, then there's the other side, and then the truth in the middle.
In the truth. Just my opinion, and that's the only thing I got in this world, is I believe they've been new about this. All this this investigation reporting, I believe they've been new about it. You cannot tell me every time something goes bad within the administration, within City Hall, nobody knows anything about it. Now, how did this journalist get these emails? Read deep into the story. Somebody sent emails to the state and was telling them about some $96 million. It goes a little bit deeper than this. How are y'all getting this? How is the city council not knowing anything? And then all of a sudden, when it comes out, instead of you going to address the public, because that's what's going to hurt the most, you're going to sit down with one of your buddies from the news station to get your side out. To have everybody thinking that you have nothing to do with this. I had no idea. This was all hidden from me.
Yep.
But my main thing is, Brother Gerard, if Helena doesn't know anything about this or everything that goes bad, why is she using her subpoena power along with the city council to put Gilbert on the stand?
If you don't know, that's the best way to know. Get it from the horse's mouth. We're not talking about just $100 million. This program itself is $1.7 billion.
Billion with a B.
Right.
I'm sitting here telling these people, I'm like, this little birdie. This little birdie didn't call me a couple of times a day because I've been upset about this. But this little birdie said Gilbert and Helena had backbone communication.
They did.
Now, why you think she ain't calling Gilbert to the carpet? If you gonna throw me under the bus, I know about you too.
The only person that has called Gilbert to the carpet has been Oliver.
It's OT, and they all ignoring him.
Yep.
See, they ignoring him because they don't want their skeletons to come out. There's a lot of dirt that's going on, and there's enough blame to go around. But it's easy for me to go get my story out first and point at that person. Now, I don't know if American Trail will answer this or something, but I'm telling you this, you're not going to throw me under the bus for 1.7. You tried it with the budget deficit.
Right.
And it kind of worked, but then it didn't kind of work. But this one right here, I do see a lot of more people fighting back and saying, look, we can't keep giving you these passes. You've been in city council 8 years, and you don't know nothing. Either you airhead or you remedial. But I know two people that don't have the money. That's me and the Catholic Church.
Oh, you're going to hell. You're going straight to hell.
I owe $230 million for touching little boys.
Gasoline draws and everything, bro. So
have a good day, Brother Gerard.
I'll talk to you later, boy. Oh, Galloway he got a new nickname. Krispy Kreme. That's it.
That was a good one.
Yeah. He going straight to hell. That's all. T-Bone.
Hello?
What you say?
Hey, good evening to y'all. Thanks for letting me through, Wick. So, we don't always agree, brother, but it's nice to hear when you bring up a point that I brought up for some time.
Oh, you brought this up before, too?
How many times have I said that this city has had a bad practice with business? Not just with private enterprise, but taking care of business of the city. We always throw these parties, these concerts, these functions, millions of dollars. The one that really gets me the most, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, Mardi Gras. Every year what they used to do, they kind of stopped doing it, but what they used to do was they would show the street sweepers clean up the French Quarter. And then a news report would come out and say, we had tons of trash. And that is how we measure how much money we made off of Mardi Gras, correct?
It would measure the number of people that would attend Mardi Gras, not how much money we made, but how many people were here for Mardi Gras during that time.
But that's their way of equating how they profited off of Mardi Gras, correct?
No, it was through the taxes.
Well, no.
So remember something.
The
they would
report
tell you.
always show the trash and see how much trash we accumulated.
Right, and that would tell you how many people they say were estimated that were here for Mardi Gras because of the tonnage.
But they would always give an estimate of how much money that was Mardi Gras made, right?
No, they counted the taxes on what was being spent in the city. So when you talk about 96% of the hotel rooms, you're talking about the number of businesses that were charging and also making money, and they would tell their taxes. So when we got a tax base here, then we could estimate how much money the city made. And it would make me mad, just like everybody else, when you hear, oh, the city made over $300 million.
Where's that money? I ask that every year.
So
every year.
So that is, I think, misleading when they say that. That's misleading because that's the amount of money that was being spent during that weekend, that day, or whatever. That's not telling you how much the city made. It's telling you how much money was spent. That's an estimate.
Again, still, it's giving you a number. You understand? It's not sitting up there giving you an exact number. It's not giving you pennies, though. And we do this every single year because it's a tradition And the only time Mardi Gras really got canceled was during COVID. And everybody gave our TT hell for it. But it was a necessary thing because you had a situation where people were getting sick and dying, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Every year they'd measure this, okay? Every year they have the Sugar Bowl. They give a measurement, an estimate. Let me say that, an estimate, okay? Whenever they have another major sports thing here, like the Final Four, they give an estimate. Super Bowl, they give an estimate. Essence, they give an estimate of how much money the city may or may not have made. And it is never pennies.
But understand what you just said. It's an
money went.
estimate. I mean, they gave an estimate on how much money the city and the state was going to make behind Taylor Swift. And from what we see right now during the audit, that they were wrong.
But see, that's the thing, G. You telling me this many years of doing all these major events, we can't do our math?
Evidently not. Look how much we in debt.
I'm going to say it in the most ignorant country way I could say it. Is you serious?
He right. I said it. I said what I said. Evidently, they can't do their math. Well, look how much we in debt.
Then why are you running things? That's my
you
point.
voted for them.
No, and that's the point I'm making. Is you serious? You can't do simple subtraction and add. And you running this place?
Yeah.
But you want me to run more money for taxes and stay here. And you running this.
Did you leave?
So if I give you $1 right now.
But did you leave?
If I give you $1 right now for my taxes because you told me I owe that, you're going to come back and tell me I only gave you 10 cents. Even though you wrote the receipt, you signed the receipt, I have the receipt in my hand, you going to tell me I'm giving you 10 cents?
But did you leave? And you getting ready to get a new tax bill in between now and 30 days from now.
Are you go up on it again?
Are you leaving? Are you leaving?
I feel like leaving a lot.
I feel like it too, but are you leaving? Have you packed yet?
Me and my wife are seriously considering it, real talk. And here's why. And I've shared this with you plenty of times. My 3 children that are dealing with their disability are of legal age, adults. Every time I turn around, there's another service being shut down. SSI in the state is constantly trying to get cut. And we keep electing Republican governors who are screwing up the works for federal money.
Yep.
So I keep feeling like I'm wasting my time here. I got so many people spread out around this country say, get out the South. Get out of New Orleans for sure. I got somebody in West Virginia trying to get me to go there. I got 2-3 people in Texas trying to get me to go there. I got a couple people in Atlanta trying to get me to go there. I got a son in California. He left this state, went to LSU, got his degree, went to California, and has opened a business. As expensive as California is, he started a business, doing well. See the nonsense that goes on here? I get so mad I would be wanting to slap somebody because of how ignorant it is.
So let me make you feel a little bit better. Well, no, it ain't gonna
Please do, G.
It ain't gonna make you feel no better.
Make it make sense.
But it's real
If you
interesting
can.
to me that every day, just about every day, you, me, and everybody else, we continuously hear these dollar figures that we're in the hole for in New Orleans. Or New Orleans is a bad management of money. We continuously, and we even contribute to that conversation. But did you know that Jefferson Parish is in the same quagmire right now? Did you know that they're going through the same thing and they are running a deficit as well? But nobody's having a conversation about their they're effing up the budget. So why is it so important for us to be in the news every day, and make us look like we're incompetent, but they're doing the same thing?
I'm gonna tell you why. What major events in Jefferson makes millions of dollars for this city? You can't name it.
Mm-mm.
Exactly. We make all the money for the whole damn state, bro.
Oh no, but you know what? You got to remember though, Jefferson Parish just has about almost now just as many folks that came from New Orleans that shares in the economy for Jefferson Parish. So you're talking about an equal amount of money that is coming out. Well, not an equal amount because of us, but of course the different functions. But I'm talking about the number of folks that share and the responsibility of saying that Jefferson Parish just has just as many people as we do.
I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about profit.
I understand what you're talking about, but you got to understand
Parish.
what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, if you got that many people, you got that many tax dollars.
That is true. But here's the thing. You have people working in Orleans that live in Jefferson.
That's what I'm talking about. You're just making my point.
But again, I'm talking about the management of Orleans Parish, New Orleans. We, as a city, as a parish, make more money than Jefferson.
And, okay, you made your point. I'm agreeing with you on that. But it don't make it no better.
It don't. It still makes us look stupid because we get millions of dollars, billions a year, and I'm sorry, there's no other adjective to say, piss it away. We literally piss it away. Still dealing with the same potholes. The news and made an item of pothole of the day. Still have issues with paying for schools and paying teachers. We can't keep NOPD up with enough officers to police. We still have an area of our city that is still dilapidated from 20 years ago during Katrina. And you think everything is gravy, red beans and rice, and can go dance at a second line on Sunday. Really? You think nothing's wrong? This is why I yell when I talk about this stuff, because I don't understand how people don't see it.
I don't know if people realize this that don't go to second, because I hear a lot of folks say they ain't going, they're not going to go. But
somebody's going to get on the same program lackadaisical, not say anything about it, not feel anything about it, except a few people. And I'm like, how you don't see this, y'all?
I don't think people realize that second lines make a lot of cash.
Yeah, but where does it go?
To the people. They have to pay for those second lines a little bit more because of the Office of Secondary Employment gets police officers, and you got to get all those folks to be out there before you can have a second line. But if you ever go to a second line, you got to see the folks. I know you've been out there. Look at the folks that show up hours before that second line happened on the route. They bringing out coolers. They got their trucks out there. They got their grills out there. They making money.
Just the steppers be putting thousands of dollars into the outfit, even if they don't know how to step.
Don't get in trouble, bro. Don't get in trouble. Don't get in no trouble.
Oh, I ain't calling names, but you know who you is.
Don't get in no trouble.
See, I'm saying the country, but you know who you is.
Leave him alone, bro. Leave him alone. I don't need that. I don't need that smoke.
You can look at it on YouTube.
I'm not gonna look at that smoke. I'm not. Nope.
It's out there, dog.
No. No.
I ain't named no name.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes, people. Close your eyes. He know not what he said.
Seriously, they spend millions of dollars on them suits alone.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars. They spend money on permits. They spend money on PD. And vendors come out there to make their money. You understand?
Yep.
Where does that money go after it's collected by the city?
A lot of those vendors coming out there, they ain't paying the city, and they making their money. They just setting up shop, like a pop-up shop, making their money. They selling food. They selling other items. They selling beer.
Yeah.
They selling water.
Yeah. Well, I don't knock the hustle now. The people that's out there hustling, making their change, no. Like Jay-Z said, you can't knock the hustle.
Yeah.
My issue is with the city not paying the dollars that don't make sense.
Well, I just want us to do one thing and what does make sense. And I think the first thing that needs to be done is that we need to have an audit of every line item in the budget, meaning every department, every line item as far as, they even got a what?
And you know what? Because they gave Aunt TT all that smoke, Miss Moreno, you've taken the reins. Let's have this. Because guess what? You're going to have budget problems too, lady.
Yep.
Because y'all are doing the same thing.
Yep.
Because, by the way, the city council controls part of the budget too, don't they?
Let me tell you something. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you this as a line item. I know you're going to go, because I know, and this is the honest to God truth. One of the things, working with Susan taught me a whole lot. It taught me a lot about jailing. It taught me a lot about the consent decree. It taught me a lot about budgeting. It taught me a lot about law enforcement. But one of the things that I saw is the fact that how they fund jailing is terrible in this city. And then I don't know if Ms. Woodfolk know it or not, but next year they trying to cut the jail budget, the sheriff's budget, by $10 million. I'm like, good Lord.
Yeah.
How in the world are they going to be able to operate that? Plus, they got that third wing getting ready to come up with for the mental health hospital. They don't even have the deputies yet.
Yeah, and quiet is kept. That's what's also fed into the crime issues we've had in the city, because some criminals have had a revolving door in and out.
Well, it's a whole lot better. The recidivism rate has gone down from, I think, 8 times to 3. So that's a whole lot better than what it was.
But it's happened, G.
What?
It's happened. It's happened, and it's had a lasting effect on areas of the city.
Well, it's happened for years, but I'm telling you that it's been cut down in the last 2 or 3 years. So
yes, but we're talking not just 2 or 3 years of degradation. We're talking decades, possibly, even before Katrina.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, all right, T-Bone. Let me go. Let me take my break.
All right, y'all. Look, just hear what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Don't sit up there and get exalted. Go and look at the information. Listen to the information on BOK, because they're the only ones saying it.
I'll talk to you later, brother.
All right, y'all.
All right. I'm more coming up. We got to take a break, y'all.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityWealthManagement.com. Former Toronto Raptors GM Masai Ujiri is hard at work in Africa. He's co-founder of Giant of Africa, a nonprofit that's looking to help educate and enrich young people throughout the continent through the sport of basketball. Speaking on the sidelines of the Bloomberg Africa Summit in Johannesburg, Ujiri talked about how the lack of sports infrastructure is holding the continent back.
You think about Nairobi, you think about Joburg here, you think about Lagos, you think of Abidjan, Accra, no arenas. Imagine those put in the middle of the city, somewhere in the cities, with all the hubs, the districts around them, and all the things that fans, people want to engage in these kind of places. And that's what we're trying to really replicate here.
Ujiri says that Africa has enough talent to build sports leagues from the ground up. Current NBA stars like Joel Embiid and Pascal Siakam are good examples. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
In recent days, a growing number of people in the New Orleans area have expressed deep concern over the presence of ICE and Border Patrol agents executing immigration raids while wearing face masks and concealing their identities. This is not just unusual, it is unsettling and for many downright frightening. Mayor-elect Helena Moreno and New Orleans Police Chief Ann Kirkpatrick echoed these public concerns, calling attention to what they describe as a troubling pattern of conduct by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency in other American cities. They worry that the practice of covering faces and wearing unmarked uniforms during raids raises serious safety and constitutional issues. And they're right. We live in a state where residents are legally allowed to carry concealed firearms without a permit. So, just imagine the potential confusion and danger when a masked, unidentified person approaches a citizen, grabs them, or attempts to detain them without any visible indication of legal authority. That's right. In a moment of misunderstanding or fear, tragedy can happen before anyone can realize what's taking place. No, this is not about whether immigration laws should be enforced. It's about how they are enforced and whether the people in the New Orleans area can trust that the individuals confronting them are legitimate officers operating within legal boundaries and respecting everyone's rights. Mayor-elect Moreno has pledged to use every tool at her disposal to protect residents, including connecting people with attorneys offering free legal advice. This is an important step, but it is also a quick reminder of just how quickly community trust can erode when the lines between law enforcement and intimidation become blurred. Law enforcement agencies must conduct themselves in ways that build confidence, not fear. Identification is not optional. Accountability is not optional. Mask enforcement surely sends a message, but it's not the message a democracy ought to send. This is Norman Robinson, Off the Top.
Missed a show? Want to hear that guest everyone's talking about? WBOK is now streaming on all your favorite podcast apps. Just search WBOK Media, hit download, share with a friend, and don't forget to rate your favorite shows 5 stars. Because when our voices are heard, our impact grows.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Cary Grant. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events and sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join us every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Cary Show.
You've got responsibilities, but that doesn't mean your dreams are on hold. At Southern University at New Orleans, our evening and weekend college is designed with your life in mind. Finish your degree, start a new one, on your time, your degree, your schedule, no excuses, just opportunity. Visit suno.edu and make your next move today.
This is Charla from the WBOK sales team, wishing you and yours a very happy holiday season.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Yes, indeed. So, is this a sense of something being promoted because we got a lame duck mayor? Or is this just something that we just looked over? Y'all asked me to try to get him to call in, and he already said, I'm calling. So he on the phone with us right now? Vap. Jeff. Did we lose him? We left him? Call back? Okay, we lost him. This one just, I don't know. So there are two different things here that need to really be discussed. Of course, we're discussing one. The other part of this that we need to discuss, and I think that everybody's in the same boat here. I don't think that, I'm not asking you which way you think, whether you believe it or not, but there's a level of trust that folks that live in this city don't have in its government. Hello, somebody? Am I wrong? Oh, you can tell me I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. That there is a level of trust that the residents of this city don't have in its government. I mean, I didn't use several issues to make you think otherwise. Why you say that? We're talking about these issues of this budget. I've heard from the new administration to tell me that this is getting ready to happen. This is getting ready to happen. We're talking about furloughs. We're talking about cuts. We can't hire anybody. We're getting ready to go through a tough time, yada, yada, yada. But your new administration all got 200,000 plus a year jobs. And your new CAO got a $100,000 job. $100,000 more, meaning. So imagine the folks that's making $45,000, $50,000 a year who are shaking in their boots because they don't know how they're going to make ends meet. Hell, they're barely making ends meet right now. But yet you're giving me hocus pocus and don't look behind that curtain at the man behind the curtain because we're going to make this city so much better. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. How? That's what I want to know. How? Don't give me no transparency bull crap. Don't give me that. I almost cussed. What you going to improve? How? You ain't got no damn money. That's what you're telling me. I want to know, if we don't have no money, how we pulling off all these events? How we pulling off Sugar Bowl? We don't have no money. How do we pull off all this stuff for Bayou Classic? We don't have no money. How we going to pull off Mardi Gras? And hell, y'all had the nerve to go and interview Torres the other day when they started talking about we're going to have to take the cost of trash up. It might be another $10, $15 that we're going to... What? And then when they interviewed him, he said, yeah, because, the cost of dumping that trash in the landfill is going to go up, yada, yada, yada. And I'm saying to myself, what? So it made me say, you're privileged. I'm talking about me because you know the real deal. The real deal is we have contracts, right? Remember, we raised your rate up 80%. And how many contracts do we have? We had the French Quarter contract. We have the contract for Mid-City. We have the contract for Algiers, and we have the contract for the East. Mid-City would probably be Mid-City and Lakefront, right? And then we have New Orleans East. So that's 4. But to tell the truth, the city of New Orleans has 5 contracts. What you said? Yeah. It's 5 contracts. We don't have 4. We have 5. We have the contracts for the vendors to be able to pick up the trash. But the 5th contract belongs to River Birch. Why? Because that's the landfill. We pay River Birch to take our trash. Hello? Can you tell me what he said? What you want? Is you gonna eat your cornbread? We pay for that. So instead of thinking we got 4, we got 5. So what you talking about there, Torres? When you're trying to tell everybody, yeah, you need to pay more because it's going to cost us more to dump that trash. Really? Are you going to pay the city contract that we have with the folks down at the landfill? So, in my eyes, I'm looking at that man behind the curtain. Don't make him no. Don't pay him no mind. Cause that's a lie. That's not for you. That's not for you to say. You getting your millions. You're getting your millions. That's not for you to say. Is that all you can say? Yeah, it's going to cost us more to dump that trash, landfill fees. Really? The city pays for that. All you got to do is get your receipt when you dump to show the tonnage. Go on down there in Avondale. It's called River Birch, y'all. It's a landfill. So these are the things that make me say you got one story on one side, another story on the other side, and in the middle is the truth. But when I heard this story, they're talking about Helena getting ready to inherit a $1.7 billion street repair program that's been a mess for a long time. And it says here, unless FEMA steps in, Moreno says it could get even messier and far more expensive. It said they expose how the city's Katrina-era federally funded road repair, the Joint Infrastructure Recovery Request, that's the JIRR, the Joint Infrastructure Recovery Request Program, quietly helped create a cash crunch at City Hall. So the investigation found that the Cantrell administration had allowed a massive, previously undisclosed $123 million deficit to build inside the FEMA-funded program while drawing on the city's operating budget to cover construction bills. Now this is the question here, y'all. Somebody answer this for me. Maybe I have to call Mr. Carey in here and have him to answer it. But anyway, How could the city of New Orleans operate if we just operated on a deficit of $123 million and we got another deficit of $160 million? How could that happen? Y'all, the lights would be off. Where? Everywhere. All right, here's another question for you. And I don't even think that nobody asked this. But maybe y'all need to ask the people that are making these suggestions. Maybe we need to ask the auditor as well. So, the city of New Orleans sued Entergy. What? Yeah. Y'all remember this? The city of New Orleans sued Entergy and won. We won over $200 million. What? Yeah, we won over I think it was like 238, something like that. We won $238 million. Entergy said, okay, we're going to pay you back, Spanky. Here go your money, Mr. JP. But before we hand you that check there, wizard, we'd like to know, can we make a loan? A loan for what? To help us fund redoing our infrastructure so that we can show up everything that we're doing. Well, how much you need there, Mr. Entergy? Well, Mr. Red Bottoms, I think what we need is about $238 million to be exact. Really? Well, here you go, Spanky. Take it back. But wait a minute. Let's get our verbiage right there, Darla. Okay, but what you need? We gonna lend you this money, right? You ain't giving it to you. We gonna lend it to you. Oh. So that you can show up the grid. Y'all remember when they started that? We're shoring up the grid. We're shoring up the grid. And then it rained and the lights went out the next week. But you said lend. So since we got all these investigative reporters that are listening right now, because I know that there are some of them that are listening right now because I did this, I need you all to do public records requests and ask for the terms of that $238 million loan. Since we have the money to lend, one of the resources, one of the entities that you regulate, how much are the payments? How much has come back? When do we get that money back? What's the terms of the loan? Are we collecting it? Does it go to the general fund? Does anybody know where this money is? How long are the payments? How long is the term of the loan? What's the interest on the loan? We didn't forget about that? Because, I mean, if we had that money, we wouldn't be in a deficit right now. We probably had to try to find out what happened to the money. But we had the money, we wouldn't have to go get it. We lent over $200 million to Entergy, and we had to go get a bond. Y'all want to know why I'm taking Tylenol? You got over $200 million that you lent. And we had to go get a bond. Okay. I might have to take some more Tylenol today. All right, there's more. There's more. So, as an entity, the Sewage and Water Board is not just a part of the city. It's actually regulated and controlled by the state of Louisiana. Because we are controlled by the state of Louisiana and they're doing work for other folks, they have to make payments to the city of New Orleans, right? Well, I was like, oh, okay, cool. How much do they owe the city of New Orleans since we sit up here funneling around trying to figure out where our money is? And then I was like, how much do they owe the city? How much do they owe the city? Somebody answered it. I thought they were going to say like $3 or $4 million, something like that. $87 million is owed to the city of New Orleans. And we had to go get a bond. Oh, we need to put on our pimp hats and some fur coats and start singing the song. Management have my money. And we had to go get a bond. Is it me? Is it me? So how much money did we count? We just about what, $300 million? A
whole lot.
Just about $300 million. I'm just naming two things, and that's interesting. All right, y'all. More coming up here as we get ready to wrap up.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris.
How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crockett. She's the new star of the Democrat Party, Jasmine Crockett. They're in big trouble. But you have this woman, Crockett. She's a very low IQ person. I watched her speak the other day. She's definitely a low IQ person.
Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is turning political attacks into political fuel, and she's doing it in a new campaign video ad that she released on social media. Crockett is seen in the first part of the video, gazing off to the side, and then she turns to the camera, smiles, and says nothing. While Trump attacks are the soundtrack, and Trump's last insult could become her slogan.
Now they're going to rely on Crockett.
Crockett announced her bid in a room in Dallas, and during her 40-minute speech, she said we need to make sure that we are going to stop all the hell that is raining down on our people. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
New Orleans, are you ready for a voice that says what you're thinking? Who that, you might ask? Arrington Gavin. That's right, I'm your guy, host of the Arrington Gavin Show, giving you so much filled with bold opinions, real conversations, and zero sugarcoating. We're going to be diving into the issues that matter, politics, pop culture, and all the above, unfiltered and unafraid. Catch the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Fridays, right here on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Meet Leanna, a part-time chef and full-time mom. In the past, Leanna didn't have health insurance because she didn't think she could afford it. What she didn't realize is she qualified for Medicaid. She loves the coverage and peace of mind that comes with high-quality care. The kind of care you get with Healthy Blue. This is Medicaid, and it's for more people than you think. Maybe even you. To see if you qualify, go to myhealthybluela.com.
Every year, the lights return to City Park, and as if by magic, so do we. Families reuniting, kids wide-eyed, old memories meeting new ones. Celebration in the Oaks is more than a holiday tradition. It is where New Orleans comes together to shine. Don't miss the magic. Make Celebration in the Oaks your holiday tradition and help City Park shine for generations to come. Go to celebrationintheoaks.com and grab your tickets before they're gone.
Let's take a moment to celebrate great things happening inside our schools. NOLA Public Schools achieved a B District Performance Letter Grade. Orleans now exceeds its pre-COVID district performance for all students by more than 8 points. For the second year in a row, Black students from New Orleans outperformed the state average in all peer districts. For all other subgroups, economic disadvantaged students, multilingual learners, and students with disabilities, we also saw growth. Let's keep up the amazing work.
Hey, this is Norman Sanders with WBOK, letting you know to have a happy holiday.
WBOK. Better pay attention. Powered by Cox Business. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks. Before I get out of here, let me do this. I got to say congratulations and happy belated birthday to First Lady Reverend Watson, Miss Pat Watson, over at Watson Memorial, celebrated her birthday over the weekend. Deborah Morton preached. Dr. Deborah Morton. I can't say it like I know her. I say Dr. Deborah Morton preached her service on Sunday morning. Told the church up. So happy birthday to Miss Pat Watson, Dr. Watson. And it was a great event. I know a lot of folks that went over there too. Also this past weekend, I think there were a lot of folks they must have a lot of December babies. Everybody was having a birthday party this past weekend. So happy birthday to y'all. And again, I got to say to the folks with the Johnny Jackson Foundation, thank you all for inviting me. We cut up, and it was a good time for all over at the Sheraton on Saturday night. So I appreciate y'all inviting me. I'll be back next year if they invite me. And thank you to Miss Lena. Miss Lena got an award, and I know that was well deserved. So thank you, Miss Lena, for everything that you do. I asked this question, but I don't know if this audience is really into it. How many of you all have watched the Sean Diddy Puffy Combs documentary on Netflix? Have you all watched it yet? I sat down and watched it, and it's 4 parts. It's 4 different parts. Every last one of them about an hour. It's big news. It's really big news. They show you from the rise of Puffy to the demise of Puffy. And it ain't cute. None of it's cute. I'm telling everybody, y'all get a chance, watch that. The other story, too, that I was going to try to get to, I'll probably do it tomorrow, is about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, who owns NASCAR Racing, number 23, is in federal antitrust case that could shake the sports foundation. He and his partner, Denny Hamlin, they're claiming that NASCAR's charter system favors top teams and blocks fair competition for smaller outfits. The lawsuit, joined by Front Row Motorsports, challenges NASCAR's 2025 charter agreements, which guarantee teams a spot in races and a share of the purse. Now, according to the Associated Press, Jordan's teams refused to sign the new agreements, arguing they reinforce NASCAR's monopoly and limit revenue opportunities. NASCAR has defended the system, saying payouts have increased and open entry teams can still compete. Still, Jordan's team, along with Front Row, argue that even entering races as open teams costs millions and leaves them at a financial disadvantage. The dispute also highlights tension between NASCAR executives and team owners and leaked communication showing insults and personal attacks. Court filings suggest that a trial could be messy, and Jordan and Front Row seek financial compensation for lost earnings, legal fees, and potentially a restructuring of NASCAR's charter system. The France family, who founded NASCAR, could be forced to sell tracks, dismantle charters, or make them permanent if the jury rules in favor of the plaintiffs. Well, let me tell you, being out of there, because, Michael's from Wilmington, North Carolina. So up in that North Carolina area, you got Rockingham out there in the areas of the mountains. You've got Charlotte Speedway. You've got all these different race car tracks because NASCAR is a big deal in that area. And they got the right one. Because y'all know Michael got enough money to go ahead on and challenge these folks. It's getting ready to be a mix-up or some mess in NASCAR. And always remember something about NASCAR. And I really don't know how many people have been to a NASCAR race, because a lot of us don't go. I mean, I'm being serious. A lot of us don't go. But we love some racing. Drag racing as well as NASCAR. We just don't get the opportunity to be in there because it costs so much. But I'm trying to tell you, it's getting ready to be some mess. And they got the right one because Mike got the money to do it, and I understand he got the right lawyers too. We'll talk about that as it happens. All right, y'all, that's going to wrap things up for me on today. I appreciate everybody for being a part of the conversation. We're going to see where this one goes to. All right, we got Arnie and Carrie coming up next. I hope you all have a better day on tomorrow as well. So feel free to join your next show and call in and talk to them as well. Arnie and Carrie coming up next. We'll talk to you.